Hello everyone and welcome to this lesson on the Edwardian era, an important period in British history that served as a bridge between Victorian Britain and modern Britain. In today's lesson, we will explore the major political, social, and international developments that characterized this era and understand why it remains significant in British history. In this lesson, we will begin with an introduction to the Edwardian era and its historical context. We will then examine the Victorian legacy, the role of King Edward VII, political developments and reforms, social conditions, the women's suffrage movement, Britain's position in world affairs, and finally, the significance of the Edwardian period. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to define the Edwardian era, explain its major political and social developments, discuss the significance of liberal reforms, understand the women's suffrage movement, and evaluate Britain's role in international affairs before the First World War. The Edwardian era refers to the period between 1901 and 1910, during the reign of King Edward VII. Historians often extend it to 1914, the outbreak of the First World War. Although short, this period was a crucial transition between Victorian Britain and modern Britain. While it appeared prosperous and elegant, beneath the surface, Britain faced important social inequalities, political conflicts, and demands for reform. Now moving to the Victorian legacy. Edwardian Britain inherited both the successes and the problems of the Victorian era. Britain remained the world's leading industrial and imperial power. However, many people lived in poverty, social inequalities were widespread, and women and working class citizens enjoyed limited political rights. These issues would become increasingly important during the Edwardian period. When Queen Victoria died in 1901, her son Edward VII became king. Unlike his mother, Edward was known for his sociable personality and interest in leisure, travel, and high society. Although he had limited political power, he played an important diplomatic role and helped improve Britain's relations with France and Russia. He became known as the peacemaker and symbolized a more modern Britain. Politically, Britain was governed through a constitutional monarchy and parliament. During this period, the Labour Party emerged as a new political force representing workers. After the Liberal victory of 1906, important social reforms were introduced, including old age pensions, free school meals, medical inspections, and national insurance. These reforms aimed to reduce poverty and improve living conditions. Despite its reputation for elegance, Edwardian society remained deeply unequal. While the upper classes enjoyed wealth and privilege, many workers faced difficult living conditions. At the same time, women became increasingly active in the struggle for political rights. Suffragists campaigned peacefully, while suffragettes led by Emmeline Pankhurst, adopted more militant methods to draw attention to their cause. Britain remained the world's largest empire, but new powers such as Germany and the United States challenged its dominance. Competition between Britain and Germany intensified, particularly in naval development. Britain responded by forming alliances with Japan, France, and Russia. These agreements would eventually contribute to the alliance system that shaped the First World War. To conclude, the Edwardian era was a period of contradiction. It was marked by progress, reform, and technological advancement, but also by social inequality, political tensions, and international rivalry. It represented the transition, from Victorian Britain to modern Britain, and laid the foundations for many of the developments that followed. Although it appeared stable and prosperous, it was ultimately the last calm before the outbreak of the First World War. Thank you for your attention.